Hey guys, how's it going? Sol here, and welcome to something a little different than what I've had on my channel so far. So in starting to make videos again, I started in Ultimate Iron Man because that is definitely one of my favorite game modes and something I see myself playing quite a bit of, and I would like to keep track of my progress from the beginning as I have been. But now that I'm getting more ramped into things, I have taken a bit more of an interest in RS3 as well, especially the new skill release of Archaeology. So I thought about it for a little while, for a few days, before deciding that I didn't want to keep things on two separate channels or anything like that. I just wanted to go ahead, put everything on one channel. The people that don't like old school don't have to watch it, vice versa for RS3, and excuse me, and we'll just go from there. I don't want to split up anything. I realize either way it might hinder my YouTube growth a little bit, but that doesn't really bother me too much. I'm not really doing this to make money or anything like that, so I'm not really focused on exploding in terms of my YouTube channel growth or anything like that, so it doesn't really bother me. Anyways, enough of the business talk, onto the actual content. So, like I said, took more of an interest in RS3, and I did a couple months ago want to try something like a free-to-play to bond type thing. I didn't really record much, but I've actually done this like maybe 3 or 4 times in the past couple years, which is a little ridiculous, but what I did was I was like, yeah, I'll make videos of me getting a bond and then sustaining that bond once I get members with it. And I end up just getting a bond free to play and then telling myself, yeah, that was enough for now. But for some reason I got the itch for the game again, so I don't know, I'm enjoying it right now, playing 2 accounts at once, pretty much, finishing up Winter Tot on my Ultimate while I play this account, which is another inspiration I had, or motivation I had behind starting a RuneScape 3 series. In a way, I'm playing the most time-consuming and the least time-consuming versions of the game, Ultimate on Old School and Main on RS3. So I think if I was doing anything else, I would just try to stick to one or the other, like if I want to do a RuneScape 3 Iron Man or something like that. But because I have one difficult and one not so difficult thing going on, I'm fine doing them both at the same time. Anyways, I am also training Archaeology at the moment while I'm recording this. But anyways, started off with some Archaeology straight away after skipping the tutorial, and I'm very glad you can do that now. I did train a bit of Archaeology on another account I had that just happened to have a bond on it, so took that. Had a bond. It's one of those free-to-play accounts I was talking about. It had a bond and enough money for almost another bond, so in order to trade that over to my new account, I needed to have membership anyways, so I redeemed it and then went through like the basic Archaeology stuff and got to level like 45 maybe, and then AFK'd some money to basically fill out 2 bonds worth of money and then put them on this account. So start straight away with Archaeology because there are some pretty nice benefits even for new accounts. Something I like about Archaeology and sort of dislike at the same time is that it's very contained, it feels like, in a similar way to divination, I would say, in that there isn't a ton of interactivity between it and other skills. So you can just do what I did, start an account, go straight at it. And the reason I'm doing this is because, first of all, when you do the tutorial, you get your first relic buff, or passive ability thing from the monolith, which is 500 hit points. Okay, sure, it's free. You start out with it straight away, so even if you're not planning on grinding it out right away, you might as well go for it. However, there are some that I want in the like short to medium term as well. So I am probably going to stick Archaeology out until like 70-ish in the short to medium term, just to unlock the ability to acquire those relics at the very least. Notably, I want to get the runecrafting related ones, and those are to make it so your pouches don't degrade, and when you use the Abyss, you can teleport straight to the center. I feel like that'll make it faster, or at the very least a little less annoying, and I guess generally increase how effective it is. And it's already a pretty decent experience with the demonic skull, as far as I know, and should be pretty decent money overall. Not like insane in either aspect, but pretty good overall, I'd say. So that's one of my goals, and there are a few other things that I think would be nice to have, like the luck effect, so you don't have to wear a specific ring everywhere, and things of that nature. So, that being said, on screen right now you saw I got up to 42 Archaeology, which is pretty much where I sit for the remainder of this video. And the reason I left there is because there is a quest requirement to move on to the next dig site, which of course I wanted to. So I decided to get some of the novice quests out of the way, some of the early things, in addition to the basic daily challenges that you get now when you start an account. Those didn't always used to be the case, but they're in the game now, so you have to do those. And then something I didn't realize was that you get 5 daily challenges immediately after finishing those, like actual daily challenges, which is pretty nice because otherwise you'd have to wait 5 days, and there they are on screen right now. So I wanted to finish them because I assumed that they would then trickle in after that, but you just straight up get 5 of them. So I went to finish one before the daily reset. You can see in the clock there, lower middle, once it hits 24, which would be 0 actually, the day ticks over and you get a new daily and all that jazz. So also shops refresh at that point, which is why I was buying runes here. And from there, there's like a lot of bonus XP, random XP you get in RS3, which some people dislike. I don't really care either way. I don't like the pay-to-win aspects, but I'm not going to use them, and they don't bother me enough to completely stop me from playing. So the way I treat keys for me personally is they're a nice little bonus, and they help the early quests be more rewarding, I suppose, because there are a lot of them in RS3, and you quickly outlevel them with all the XP you get from them and other things that are going on in dailies and etc., etc. So it'll be nice to use those to like thrust yourself into the mid game. Again, just going through early quests here, as well as the Varrock Kudos, no, what's that called? Natural History Quiz? Museum Natural History Quiz. There have been a couple of new quests since I last played as well, such as the slime one, Once Upon a Slime there, which is decent cooking XP. Here in a minute, actually, I realize this is kind of like a mess of a first episode, and this is the only one that'll be sped up to this degree at least. I probably won't speed up anything in the future, but rather do live commentary over the clips as I record them, as I'm doing in my Ultimate series, if you want to check that out. I just wanted to sort of cram a bunch of stuff in here so I would have time to collect my thoughts and then talk over them later, I guess is what I'm getting at. Anyways, one thing I ran into, piece of trouble, is with all this XP and like lamps and such, I had no idea what to use it on, and I didn't want to get super indecisive and like freeze up and stop using things or try to like hoard them. So I just started using them on whatever, really. Things I thought would be good early on. I know I used quite a few things on summoning, some on runecrafting just because it ended up being my highest level. And as we can see here, I had to do AFK while doing Wintertot and didn't have Archaeology how I wanted, so I went up to 52 runecrafting, I believe, within Runespan, and then moved on to a few other things that we'll see here in a minute. And I wanted to get 52 to unlock a daily, which is Fizzwax. Everybody should know about that by this point. In the Runecrafting Guild, you can use the Fizzwax machine every day, and you make obscene amounts of money with it, really. Probably like around a mil a day, realistically. So, yeah, that's something I wanted to go for straight away. And also, as I mentioned before, every quest gives you 2 keys when you complete it, including the early game ones, so you just get completely flooded with keys, which is why I'm using them now, because the key tokens that are in my inventory from Runespan can't get used if you have more than 10 earned keys, and all the keys I'm using now are earned, so I technically could have stopped at 7. I didn't even think about that at the time, but it really doesn't matter because the earned keys absolute cap is 100, I believe. It used to be higher than that, but once you get to that point, you can't earn keys from quests anymore, so you have to use them if you want to earn them. And my problem is I'll get to 100 and then do like 12 quests having forgotten about the cap, so I end up not being able to collect anything from those keys. So this is one way I'm mitigating that early on here. I realize this is maybe not a good look for the first video, seeing all this go on, but again, this is not necessarily pay to win or anything like that. Like, it's a part of the game, something you gotta live with if you are going to play, and I don't think it's a big hindrance overall. So again, these are the way I look at it, quest rewards. So, and I believe that's how most people see them at this point, but maybe not. If you guys haven't seen Guides for Us All, his channel at all, I'd recommend checking that out. He's another person that started with old school videos, I believe, and ended up doing an R3 series as well. And I'm actually watching / listening to that as I play my Ultimate and this account. So, yeah, overall, not too bad. Also finished up Vampire Slayer there, which may have been difficult to tell, but I use that in Magic. Something nice about that is you can use many of the combat XP lamps on whatever you want, even like the Grand Tree, as we'll see in the future. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. And here, if you show the lady, I don't remember her name, in the Runecrafting Guild, a bunch of talismans, all of them, you get an Omni Talisman, which you can then put in the Wicked Hood to make it give pure essence instead of regular. I think most people know about this, but I want to throw it in there just in case. After that, I got back to questing to finish up Priest in Peril, which is what I needed to continue Archaeology. And you can see I'm dumping a bunch of the post-quest Death Plateau rewards into Construction and Divination, because I feel like those will be kind of annoying early on. Or like there's some of the last few annoying early skills that I have, so yeah, that being said, we are about to wrap up this episode here with a status screen, which we can then look at in future episodes. And yeah, we'll check back there for now, as I leave you with a black screen. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and if not, tell me why. Just because RS3 or whatever else. Anyways, subscribe if you want to see more. Leave a comment for feedback. See you guys around. Peace.